I finally recovered from my trauma of having so many onions last year that I did not know what to do with them. So today, we're gonna plant all these out. I probably have about, I don't know, 100, 150 or so. And I'm gonna see if I can experiment a little bit. Last year, we had some of the biggest onions I've ever grown in my life. You saw Jacques and I clowning around, literally losing our minds, crying tears of joy, not tears of slicing onion pain. And I'm gonna see what I can do this year to try to tease out why that works so well by purposefully planting the onions in different areas of the garden and seeing how that impacts their growth. Here is what I have for you guys. I've never done it this way before, by the way. Epic Kneelers now on the store. You can check them out. Have been saving my knees like crazy. So here are the 4 varieties that I have. I've got white Bermuda. So of course a white onion right here. Nice, thick, ready, juicy. This one is yellow Granex right here. This is the one that you saw us grow last year. Monsters, absolute monsters in Southern California. This thing claps. I'll say that much right now. I've got the Texas Super Sweet, which I believe is a yellow onion. And then this one is, I think, Southern Belle. It's a red onion right here. So I have 4 different types. 2 are yellow, 1 is white, 1 is red. And then what I have is a little tomato and vegetable fertilizer. So the way I'm playing it this year, this is a method I've never used to plant onions, but I like to just learn from farmers, right? Farmers have to do this for a living. They can't clown around like Jacques and myself. They actually need to make some cash selling their produce. So NPK, the P should be the highest, and you're in a good spot with onions. Let me show you the way we're gonna do it here in the test garden. So I have a 4x4 square foot space I'm planting these out. You can see we put these little lines here, and that's just so that we know, what kind of area we're working with. Obviously we're running an experiment there with the trellis, there with the trellis. I'm gonna grab the bow rake and rake this level and loosen it up a bit. So the reason you want it nice and loose is because onions really do not want super compact soil. If you have that, you might wanna break it up with a little bit of compost. They want nice loose soil. So that's basically what I'm doing here. We put a lot of compost in this space over the last couple years. So it should be nice, but this just hasn't been worked in a bit. So I'm gonna make sure that it's loose and ready to go. But I'm gonna be using a trenching style this year, at least in this experiment. And I'm gonna play around with different spacings to see what kind of results I get. Because, as I grow up, I suppose, as a gardener, I wanna know why the things I'm doing are working or not working, and how shifting all these different growing variables can actually shift the results in the garden. And so, like I said, love learning from farmers. This particular planting guide is coming out of Dixondale Farms, who does provide some onions, but we should be providing some onions on the Botanical Interest store pretty soon, guys. So probably later this season, you'll see that pop up. Nice crisp January day, went on a run. Well, it was a walk and a run because I get this crazy pain on the outside of my shin here when I run. It's not shin splints. I think it's like compression syndrome or something, like it's excruciating pain on the outer calf. I used to run barefoot all the time when I was younger, in my early 20s. I'd run barefoot through the canyons like 5-7 miles a day. And I was like starting to really rip. Then I accidentally kicked a stop sign on my way home, like the bottom of a stop sign. There's no stop sign in it. Boom, kicked it, split right next to the connection point between the pad of my foot and all my toes, right open. And then I had to go to Coachella the next couple days, like Mr. Bloody Sandy Foot, little dusty foot over here. All right, so we got this ready to go. Let's dig our trench. Okay, this is the trenching method that I'm going to use this year. So I'm coming in on my line. So my little line's right here. I'm gonna come in about 2 inches, and that's gonna be where I start planting the onions, just on the inside edge of this. Then I'll come over roughly 6 more inches. So about half a foot, it's probably about that much. So there's my trench line, and I'm gonna dig about a 4-inch trench. So I'm just gonna come in here and just bring this out really quickly. It doesn't have to be really precise or crazy or anything like that. And this is where my fertilizer line is gonna go. I'm actually seeing some really good fungal growth in this area. Take a look at that right there. That's a really good sign. All right, so take a look. There's my line. Really, actually quite happy with that. I'm gonna take my fertilizer that is higher on the P than the N or the K, and it's about a half a cup per 10 linear foot. This is about 4 feet, so I'm gonna go 1/4 of a cup, but if I go a little more, it's not that big a deal. So I'm gonna come in like this, just give a nice sprinkle, just like that. Come in here, give it a little bit more. Okay, now recover. The trick though, in this method, and I've never used it, is you actually don't plant in the trench. You let the trench sort of be this middling point between these 2 rows of onions that we're going to plant. And what's clever about this is when you're doing like traditional row planting, which to be honest, I don't do a whole lot of because I'm not really a farmer style gardener. But when you hear those, on the back of old seed packets, you'll often hear X between plants and X spaces between rows. But a lot of us just plant in like raised beds, so we don't do that row method. So I'm gonna just mark out where the trench was. It's about right here and right here. And then this is gonna be my other area where I'm gonna plant the onions. So I'm gonna go in with my Granex because I had a lot of success with the Granex. Okay, so this bundle right now is of course on top of the trench. I need to plant right here. So what I'm doing, and these do honestly look not that good, but that's fine. They're actually dormant. So even though these roots are a little bit crispy, some of these leaves are not ideal, it's really actually okay, trust me. Now the thing about this is you want to plant these not super deep. You want that plant to still bulb, right? So I just come in with the glove. I'll go in about an inch or so, not too much more than that. Make sure I peel off any of this nonsense, but even that's not that necessary. Come in like that, and I just give this a nice firm snug up. Make sure it's sitting up nice and straight. It's secured there in the soil, and like I normally don't do, I'm gonna actually count out about a 6-inch spacing here. So remember, if this is a 6-inch bulb, and remember they got a lot bigger last year, 6 inches is gonna be at least 3 inches on each of these sides, but then you got another one over here, so it's another 3 inches, right? So I've got about 3 inches to the bed edge, which you can see right there. I'm gonna come over 3 and another 3, so I'm gonna be here on my next onion. And I know it's a little painful, at least it is for me, to plant out with this much spacing. I like cramming things in, but hey, we're going for big daddy onions this year. Dirty daddy onions, DDOs, okay? So there we go, in we go. If you can find a little dibble just out here in the soil, all the better. The idea behind this, of course, is that as these onion roots fan out, they're going to hit the trench layer, and a lot of nice soil life is going to develop around that, breaking it down. By the time those roots hit that area, they should be in a really healthy spot, ready to accept that broken down nutrition. Okay, it's going well. What I'm gonna do is plant a different variety on the other side of the trench, and then I'm gonna use the same spacing, but I'm actually not gonna fertilize in the next little chunk, just to run an experiment and see if both of these 2 varieties do better off with this weird little fertilizer trench idea. Because I mean, really, the spacing is gonna be a lot crazier than I'm used to doing. Normally I'd put an onion probably right here. In this case, I don't even need to do the stagger diagonal planting. Like normally you'd go here, 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 here. I'm actually just gonna jump the trench, come over here, and just do it in a line because it's about 12 inches apart. So I don't need to cram it in diagonally. By the way, guys, this year I am a huge, huge labeling fanatic. So this is what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna go variety. I'm gonna go planting date, which is the 6th of January right now. Don't need the year. And then I'm gonna go any details, trench plus fert, 573. And that is how I'm gonna know what the hell I did here in a couple months. By the way, this is a little sneak peek of some stuff that we're testing out. We are always trying to make the best stuff we can make for home gardeners, because I think a lot of the stuff you see at the nursery sometimes is just like not really for someone who's trying to grow a lot of food, So we're testing a bunch of different types of gloves. This is one of the protos that you might see with a new Epic logo on it pretty soon. But this one, I'm going in with the white Bermuda. These guys have a pretty big bulb already developed down here. Look at that, a lot chunkier than the yellow Granex. So I'm gonna make sure I stick to this 1-inch planting, and I switched up my tool set. I'm gonna go with the trowel because it's a lot easier for me to kind of loosen up this soil. I noticed my initial rake did an okay job, but down there still gets a little bit tough. So I can just kind of stab in, and I already have my planting lines because I've got my onions on the other side. So I just don't even have to think at this point, which is great. Just kind of stab in, loosen it up, pop one in, try to not get it too deep. You don't want to like sink this bulb really deep into the ground. I try to keep it like right about there or so. And I can't tell you how peaceful it is out here right now. It's like sun setting. I can hear the pond going. Got that nice sort of crispy January. I know a lot of you watching are like, yo, shut up, dude. It's like completely snowing where I live, but you know this feeling. It's just not there for you yet. It's coming in a couple months. And hopefully I've laid some groundwork for you so you can get your onions in and have a ton of success, because you'll basically be doing this in late winter, whatever late winter means for you. And for me, that's basically now, because we don't really have a winter. So late winter is like the middle of anyone's winter. And that is why I'm trying to get these in the ground in early January. I think last year why we did so well with them is because we got them in the ground months ago, probably in November. And then we just let them ride for a really, really long time. And they started to bulb, of course, when the days started to trigger it. The photo period, as it's called. So the day length, right? These are going to be short day onions because we're in an area down here in Southern California where the days are short, which is kind of counterintuitive. You'd think, for some reason, your brain thinks like more south equals less short days for some reason, but it's not really true. Because in the summer, which is when these onions want to bulb up, if you're more north, you're going to have really long days. Think about Alaska. Went up there for my 30th birthday. My birthday's around August, and we were cranking. We were just like fishing until midnight. Actually past midnight, a couple days on the Kenai River up there, and it was really, really fun. Okay, our first trench is in. I have to say, it looks pretty sexy if I do say so myself. You got these beautiful rows. Let me see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 onions right here with a beautiful trench running down that should just be cranking with soil life in, I don't know, honestly, probably about a week or so. Now it's time to do the rest. It's getting pretty dark now, guys. I finished 4 rows. I'm gonna finish the rest tomorrow, but I wanna get up on the roof and show you something. Take a look at that, my friends. Little winter sunset here at the homestead. You can kind of see what's been going on. Remember when we first moved in here? Look at this. Whole front yard, solar on the roof. I can barely get around this roof. There's so much solar on here, but it's really taken shape. You can see some of the neighbors still got their Christmas lights up. It's that time of year where you're just setting up for a killer year and trying to do the best you can. So make sure I don't die here. Take a look. Whoop. Let's come around. I want to show you how the pathways look from the top of the house. So take a look at that. You got the greenhouse coming in over there, zipping over that way for that path. These guys right here. And then just imagine when the back garden that we put in is fully built out and grown in. Everything's under nets right now. So I think it's gonna be a really good year. I'm feeling good about it. And I'm feeling energized and ready to hit some new gardening techniques with you guys, explore more in the kitchen, do some preserving, do some canning, maybe do some hunting. Stay tuned, guys. Good luck in the garden and keep on growing.